Hello guys, and welcome to my Discord basics tutorial. So for who is actually this tutorial made? It's mainly for people who are starting to use Discord and they don't actually know how it works with all the full-fledged functions that you get with it, and trust me, there's a huge variety that you get with this awesome application. So what I'm going to talk about in this tutorial is, first of all, setting up your communication, then linking your Discord account with other accounts and applications, game display mode and overlay, then the display mode of Discord, stream mode, adding friends and group chats, setting up your own server, customizing your server, creating and editing, adding users to ranks, and then securing and managing your server is going to be the last one. So before I actually start introducing this, I'm going to use the Discord client. It actually has a lot more features than just the web interface, and I'm just quickly going to show you how to download it from the web interface. Once you're in there, all you actually have to do is go to download and then select your operating system. In my case, it's actually PC, and your versions might vary, but usually, at least with Mac OS and PC, it's actually going to be the same interface. It's going to look the same way. So let's begin with the actual tutorial. So once you have installed your Discord client successfully, you'll come up with this whole interface, or let's call it program window. And what we're going to start off with today is actually, first of all, setting up your audio and your communication. So to do that, you actually go to the user settings down here on the left side, this cogwheel symbol. And this opens a variety of settings. Now, just so you know, this is actually a trash mail, because I didn't want to use another email for myself. But enough of that, let's go to the settings. And these are all the settings you can have for voice communication. And we are going to start by checking your input device and your input volume. And this is mainly which devices you can use to talk in Discord. By default, it's on default, but if you have multiple devices connected that are active, I would actually recommend you to select your device in here. Usually the output device is also on default. That's not really a problem. What you can do is determine your input sensitivity, and this can be done automatically, and this kind of determines whether you talk or you don't talk in Discord. Now usually this would be blinking up here with my voice speaking, and the goal is actually to, when you speak, to put it a little bit before your peak, so how loud you actually talk, so that it gets activated when you actually talk. What I don't really like or recommend using, because in most of the cases it doesn't really work, is to actually make it determine it by itself. It's not really that good. It doesn't really work that well. Sometimes it does work, but in 90% of the cases, some people just don't get it to work on their computer and they don't have any voice to talk with. So there's some nice voice processing features, which is echo cancellation, noise suppression, and automatic gain control. These are some nice handy features. I'm not going to go too far into them. Echo cancellation is just that you don't hear yourself twice. For example, if you have your own voice, I don't know, playing at someone else's computer, or if you have if you have your voice coming from the speakers on your computer at the same time as you're talking, then echo cancellation is going to try and block this out. Now, these aren't guaranteed solutions for XYZ problems that you have communicating overall. Noise suppression is just that you don't have any nasty microphone noise or headset noise in the background. Usually if you've got a decent microphone, a pretty good microphone, most likely studio microphone, then this won't actually be a problem. You might not even have to use this feature. Auto gain control is just going to make your voice louder depending on how much you talk, and it's going to be optimal for talking. Quality of service. So this is very optional. As you can see, it says hints to your router that your packets of Discord is transmitting a high priority. Some routers or internet service providers may misbehave when this is set. Now, this is for your own playing around stuff. This is just that the packets are marked high priority and it might cause the router to work better, to work worse. You can disable this depending on the way it's working out for you. Attenuation is it lowers the volume of applications by a percent of your speaking. So if you have anything in the background running like other games, you can actually pull this up and it will, by the percent you're talking, it will actually lower the volume of the application and allow you to hear the people you're talking with a lot better. And you can set it up for when others speak, when you speak, and this will help. So, legacy audio subsystem. This is for older hardware that doesn't really work well with modern audio. And this is only if you've got older hardware installed for your recording purposes or audio purposes. And that's not really important. This is just a warning. As you can read, it just says show a warning when Discord is not detecting audio from your microphone. It just says that no one else can hear you because it's not detecting any audio. So that's it with setting up communication and audio. Let's get on to the next point. Okay, so the next topic of this tutorial is connecting accounts and connecting applications. To do this, you'll again open the settings and the cogwheel, and you go to user settings, connections, and you can see these gaming accounts unlock, connect these gaming accounts and unlock special Discord integrations. So what you can add is Twitch, YouTube, Battle.net, Skype, League of Legends, Steam, Reddit, and Twitter. Now what this enables you to do is actually, if someone else also adds one of these to their Discord, they're actually going to have the opportunity to add you as a friend. It's going to tell them that they joined to Discord and it will ask you to add them as a friend. So I'm quickly going to test this. As you can see, you can just click on Skype, and if you've got Skype installed and you are logged into Skype, you can just hit enable here and it will connect to your Skype and your friends will be synced, but they will only show up if they also connected their Skype to Discord. Same thing goes for Battle.net. It's currently not running or it's not detected. That can happen. But depending on whether you've got these installed, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. With Steam, usually what happens is it opens up this page and you have to log into Steam, and you'll be able to do that. And with YouTube, it's kind of the same story. So to this part, that's all I've got to say. It's not really a lot, but it's very cool if you don't want to constantly keep having to search for new friends. You can just tell them to connect with Skype through Discord and it will automatically add them to your list. On to the next topic, One of my favorite features in Discord is game display mode and overlay. Again, to use this, you're in the settings, you go to games, and you'll see display currently running game as a status message. So what this means is that actually the other people will be able to see what game you are currently playing, and you can even rename the games depending on if they are verified or not. If they are verified, you can't really change the name, as you can see. But for example, arc blah blah, I can rename it like that, and then it says arc blah blah. I'm playing arc blah blah. And if you want to enable now game overlay, which is a small little screen in the left on the left side at the top, what it does is it actually shows who is currently talking in Discord and which channel you're currently talking in, and it's quite practical. It just looks nice, and you can enable it with this button with this tiny screen, and most likely I recommend enabling it with verified games, because verified games have the ability to definitely work with this feature, whereas other games, they might have trouble working with this, as it's kind of an experimental feature and it doesn't really always work, or the game just doesn't support it properly. So as you can see, GTA is verified. I'm just going to click on this tiny screen to enable it, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to blend in a picture of it, how it usually looks like in-game. If your game isn't in this list, you can actually add it by clicking this edit small text here, and what it will do, it will actually show all the processes currently running on your computer. So your game actually has to be running on the computer, and you can add it so that even games that Discord doesn't recognize are in your library here. So now to customize the overlay you can trigger what to toggle it with. You can also enable it and disable it here, and you can change the keybind, of course, with your own keyboard, and you can change the avatar size to be big, small, also displaying names only when they're speaking, always never, and displaying users always all. Also, for some people this might be important. Enabling overlay will trigger false positive in your antivirus. Also, the overlay may not work for everyone. If you have trouble or questions, check this out. You can click on this help article and read it for your own self if you've got these problems. Moving towards the next category, which is display mode, which is called appearance in Discord. And in appearance, what you can set up is how you want, as the name states, Discord to look like. And you can change between light and dark, and you get a nice preview here at the top. So you can have light, which I think is very uncomfortable for the eyes, especially because it's just very bright and it doesn't completely take over the white design, as you can see. And it just hurts the eyes, especially in darker environments. So I would leave that on dark, depending on your personal preferences. Message display, you can choose between the cozy design and the compact design, which you can see up here. Leaves more space for multiple messages after each other. But I'm going to leave that cozy, and you can choose to change the chat font scaling, so you can see certain text better, depending on the way depending on the way you see things. How well you see writing on a screen can actually help with that problem. The zoom level, all that does is actually it increases the general size of Discord. which is also practical, especially if you can't see that well, or if you want everything a bit more to your custom sizing. With developer mode, this will actually expose context menus, which you mostly need for writing bots or installing bots for your server. You can enable this. This won't do anything very special. It won't change any design features of your Discord. It will just allow you to get some IDs from certain channels for a MUSICBOT, which I also have videos on. Hardware acceleration is always turned on by default. It just uses the GPU to make Discord look a bit smoother. And but if you're experiencing FPS drops in games, you can disable this, and it will again be used by CPU exclusively. Heading on to the next topic, which is stream mode. Stream mode is pretty much made for the case that you're a streamer, which means that you're using either Open Broadcaster or Twitch or Xsplit or various other solutions, such as maybe Beam, to stream gaming content or any type of content on your computer. And you can use stream mode to actually disable some things so that people don't see them or don't hear them. So what it pretty much does, you can actually add a keybind to get a stream mode started. But what it usually does is it automatically is enabled. So if you have OBS or XSplit running on the computer, it will automatically enable stream mode. And it will actually allow you to hide personal information, instant invite links, disable sounds and disable notifications, and this will make it easier for you to stream while you're on Discord at the same time. And you can have your community type on Discord like the whole chat that they want, and as you can see, you can actually connect it with several bots that Discord offers. You can also use Patreon, the Nightbot, Muxi, Twitch integration obviously is there, YTG integration, Twinge, there's Beam integration, GameWisp, XSplit integration, OBS integration, Septifus, Airhorn solutions, and you can just add them to Discord or learn how to add them. So this was pretty much it for streaming mode. Let's head on to the next mode. Okay, so let's go on with the next topic, which is adding friends and group chats. To do this, what your friend needs to send you is the complete name, including a tag, and this tag is needed so that you can, if there's a name twice, it is actually separated by the tag, so it's actually a different person including the tag. So I sent the friend request, and now it says Strike Predator has been escorted by the most elite Discord Samurai. And now if I go back to my personal account, I can see in the direct messages that there's a friend request in the pending section, and if I allow it, it should show in a second that I'm online here. Now if you want to make a voice call, which you can do privately here, you can do that this way, just by clicking on the call section, and you can hear it twice now. It's kind of penetrating. And you can also add people to a chat to make a group chat by going to add friends to DM, and then you can search for another friend by their name, and you can easily add them. and you can have as many people in a private group chat as you want. You can add them first here, or while you're talking in a voice call, and you can have a group of people in a voice call similar to Skype.